As always, please retry this question before watching the video. There are two things you need to know to be able to answer this question. If you don't know either of them, please add them to your cheat sheet, master them, and go back 5 before continuing in the video. When do you need commas around a name? You need commas around a name when it is non-essential. The easiest way to tell if it's non-essential is if it interrupts the flow of the sentence. If you read it and it sounds like it interrupts the flow of the sentence, definitely you need commas around it. However, what you need to know on the ACT is most of the time you should not have commas around the name. Most of the time the name is essential on the ACT, and therefore be very cautious about putting commas around the names on the ACT. This one is an exception. We'll talk about that, but that is the rule of the ACT. What must come before colon? An independent clause must come before a colon, and therefore we can eliminate answer H pretty quickly, which we'll talk about in just a second. With that in mind, let's take a look at these different answers. So we'll start with answer G. Answer G leaves the second comma after Hiscox as punctuation in the middle of a clause because it makes Nicholas Carlisle a comma sandwich slash parenthetical slash something we can remove. But the way it reads at that point is the men and Dean Hiscox have cameras and flashlights, with that second comma being right in the middle of the clause. It also, and Dean Hiscox interrupts the flow of the sentence, so we need punctuation around interruptions. So that's another reason. But all around, this one is just going to be, answer G is going to be crossed off. Answer H is wrong because a colon must have an independent clause before it when it's in a sentence. Answer J is wrong because Nicholas Carlisle, 1, interrupts the flow of the sentence. So it must have punctuation around it. 2, the word men comes immediately before it, so you need to refer to 2, and it turns and Dean Hiscox into a parenthetical slash comma sandwich, so it's not there anymore, so it just lists one name. So there are several things wrong with answer J. We can eliminate it, leaving us just with answer F, which is our correct answer. If this made sense to you, please go ahead and add it to your worksheet, then do all the remaining clause 1 questions that you missed on this test before doing the other questions on this test. If this is your last clause 1 question, recommend that you go ahead and do the mastery for clause 1 until you get 10 correct in a row, making sure to expose yourself to all the variations of clause 1 questions you're going to see and ensuring you're going to get them correct on the real ACT.